So I'm having a chat with Morgan. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I am very happy, very buzzing that my EP's just dropped. So I'm just taking
Mm.
it all in at the moment. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You mentioned the
Good.
EP, so tell us a bit about it for those who've not had the chance to take a listen yet.
Oh, so my Emotional Gangster EP dropped last Friday. It is an absolute whirlwind of emotions. It is stepping into my mind for 20 minutes, and you don't know what you're going to expect next. Every time you press the next button, you're going to be like, oh, this is a shock.
Mm.
So yeah, it's definitely a project that's not subject to a genre, which is something that represents me as an artist. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we've been playing a few tracks off the EP over the last couple of months. Bum Bum we've played, but the
hmm
track we'll play after this is Wheel Up. Tell us a bit about
hmm
that. Tell us a bit about that single.
Wheel Up is probably I have two favorites on that project, and I'd say Wheel Up is one of them. It's just a good vibe, you know. It reminds me of the summertime. And the feature is amazing. Byron Messiah, you know, he smashed it on that song. So yeah, I just love it. It's such a good energy song, high energy song. And it was so easy to make as well, which is always a bonus when you're an artist, you know. When a song is smooth running in the creative process, it just makes you love it even more. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well.
Mhm.
So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
So, you know, some artists work well with uh producers that already have like beats made. For
Mm.
me, I like a beat to be made in the room. I'm a pianist as well, so I enjoy sometimes being involved in the creative process when it comes to production. Whether it's just coming up with chords or little sounds that are in the track. Um, yeah, I enjoy the musical process. And that's probably why I'm quite picky with my producers as well, because I enjoy producers that can play live instruments because it really inspires me even more with, you know, my songwriting. And I feel like you can just tap into a different world when that's happening as well. But then saying that when I write for other artists, when I do K-pop, I can enjoy, you know, a producer just presenting a beat to me and I just, you know, write to it. But I think that's because it's two different experiences when you're writing for yourself versus when you're writing for another artist.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And you've
Yeah.
written with and performed with a whole bunch of names. I've got a
Mhm.
list in front of me of some of them, like Anne Marie and Rudimental, for instance, is on the list.
Yeah.
Tell us
hmm
how these collaborations and things come about.
So, um, I was a very shameless teenager and I would just put myself out there. I would be DMing artists to try and get my name on the map to try and get recognized. And Rudimental saw my DM one day, and then long story short, they ended up signing me on my first record deal. Um like an independent record deal, and they took me on the road with them. I only stopped touring with them last year. So from the age of 17 until 23, I was on the road with them.
Mm.
Um and then obviously, you know, they collaborate a lot with Anne Marie. So I kind of cultivated that relationship there. And then me and Anne Marie started writing together. One of my singles, Alien, I wrote with her. You know, I supported her at a Formula One Silverstone event. Um, and it was just nice to kind of pick her brains and pick their brains on what it is to be artists in this industry. I've had some of the best advice, and I still, you know, live by that advice until
Mm.
today. So it's such a blessing.
What's some of the key advice that they've given you?
With Rudimental, you know, they always would it was more to do with live performance, you know. They told me to keep my wits about me in this industry, but also with live performance, their feedback was so brutally honest, and I received that well. So when they came to me and said, you know, you're doing this wrong, and you need to fix that, it was something I would take on proactively. I would be proactive with it,
Mm.
and you know, I would learn from my mistakes, and then now I would say I'm a very, 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 very comfortable performer, and I have no fears or doubts when it comes to my performances. So I have to give props to them for that. And
Yeah.
myself, but mainly them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. And you touched on being on tour, and you've got some dates
Mm,
coming up at the end of
yeah.
this month. I bet you can't wait to be doing some of your own shows.
Oh, most definitely. I love doing my own shows. It's a whole different feeling actually when you're doing your own shows. I've done some of my own songs that I did with Rudimental, but to kind of headline my own tour is going to be a whole different experience in itself. It's something I've always looked forward to doing. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm always ready. Always got to stay ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And that finishes on the first of December. What's your
Yeah.
plan then for doing some more shows, some more writing? What's next?
Well, after that, I'm going on holiday to Jamaica. I'm gonna take December to wind down a little bit, and
Mhm.
then it's go time. I've got most of my I'm potentially dropping a second project.
Mhm.
And I've got a lot of music ready to go. So I'm overly prepared, which is always a good position to be in. And yeah, I'm gonna take a little break in December. Not a break from the industry, just a second. I'll still be active on my social media and stuff like that, but I just want to be able to wind down for 2 weeks
Mm.
during like around Christmas time and then come back full guns blazing in
Yeah,
the in January.
it's needed. It's needed. And
Yeah.
touching on that second project, how's it
Mhm.
sounding in comparison to this EP?
It's like this EP, but I'm gonna say 10 times more jumpy. It's definitely got more energy to it,
Mm.
but then it's also got a lot more heavy R&B influence in it too, which
Okay,
is going to be super fun for people to consume. So I'm excited about that.
nice. Was it the plan to do that, or is it just simply how it's turned out?
It's just how it's turned out. I don't when I make music, I make songs it's just how I feel on that day.
Mm.
I feel like that's a strong part of my artistry is, some people plan things. I don't. I sit there and go, this is how I feel today. I'm gonna write about it because I'm an artist and it's what comes from my heart. So
Yeah, nice.
nothing is overthought really.
Yeah, cool. And
Hmm.
I'm sure you'll be wanting to do some more touring throughout
Yes.
2025. What's kind of in the pipeline at the moment?
Well, I'm not gonna say anything yet, but there will be some festivals happening next year, which will be fun during the summertime, and hopefully a potential second tour. That's
Lovely.
all I'm gonna say.
Nice. Are you hoping to go overseas as well, into Europe, over to
Yeah.
the States?
Yeah, I definitely want to do Europe. I have a lot of people asking me about going to places like Germany and Swiss. I've had a lot of Switzerland,
Mm.
a lot of people from Switzerland asking me, so probably and France actually. I've had a lot of Paris requests, so I'm gonna see, but I definitely want to do the US as well, so I'm just gonna build towards that as much as I can.
Yeah, nice. So you must have a
Mhm.
bucket list of things you need to and you want to tick off. What's kind of what's on the top of that bucket list that you want to do at some point?
In my whole career,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I want to be doing like Glastonbury headlines, and last year I did a Glastonbury headline with Rudimental, but I want to do one as me, as
Yeah.
Morgan. So that's going to be my aim in the next 5 years. I'm going to say
Nice.
definitely. Hmm.
Fantastic. Morgan, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.